Is it correct that Aaron Wright is currently in the process of transitioning from being a man to a woman?
It is.
Are you aware if Miss Aaron Wright's working anywhere currently?
I am not aware that she's obtained any employment.
Miss Tina Wright is here. Miss Aaron Wright is not present. The state's asking for us to go forward and default on a further temporary order. The state's asking for Miss Tina Wright to be named as the primary conservator. The court's not yet named a primary conservator in this case. The court prior to now had put in a domicile restriction in Belton ISD. I believe Miss Tina Wright is going to argue that she would like the ability to be able to relocate, and we'll get testimony on that. The court had also ordered drug testing in this case, and I'll let Ms. Swartz go over the details of that. But because of the outcome of that, the state is requesting to have only supervised visits at this point. The state is also requesting that child support and medical support be set based on minimum wage, and for us to come back, I believe either late June or early July would be appropriate regarding the timing of the drug tests.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Swartz.
Thank you, Your Honor. I am asking that visitation be much more restricted because the drug testing hasn't happened for Miss Aaron Wright, the one who's not present. Miss Tina Wright did drug test and it did come back clean. So I don't have any concerns regarding that. But Miss Aaron Wright, I have some serious concerns that you'll be hearing about, as well as the fact that she's not here today. My office did reach out to try and get her here. But I am in agreement with the restriction being at least changed so that Miss Tina Wright doesn't have to live in such a small area. And you'll hear more about that.
What you're saying, you're talking to a graduate of Belton High School here, you know that, right?
Yes. Well,
and the last time I looked, 300,000 people is not small, but yeah, we won't go there.
well, I guess it's restricted to Bell ISD or something. She could say more. It's restricted to a school district for some reason.
Right. Okay. Well, Belton, of course, it's the best school district in the county. So yeah, no.
Bell County is huge. I agree with that because when I do these
I'm
visits,
just giving you a hard time. I went to my mom taught in Killeen. I went to Belton and Killeen. Yeah, I didn't go to Temple, so that's the only thing. That's the only thing out there. Or Troy, so we're good.
yeah, Colleen, we've got
Right ahead. I'm sorry. I just had to make my point. So.
And the other issue that we've got is I know that hearings right now are being set for July and later. I'm asking for the drug test to be done, I guess, before July, ordered to be done, because while we set up a hair follicle test, if Miss Aaron Wright is waiting for it to leave her system, I don't want it to be too far after. And I'm concerned that she hasn't tested yet on that front. So I am also, so right now I'm asking that she be supervised only because of the issues with the drug test and the fact that you'll hear about this, but she was missing apparently from Saturday night until Monday, just out of contact with everybody. Her parents had to show up to the residence. And if she were here, I would ask her about that, but she's not. And I am also concerned that she's underemployed based on the fact that she had her last job for 17 years. That ended right before, I guess, this case.
All right, let's get some testimony. I remember the hair follicle test part, and of course we can change that around to fingernail and hair follicle if necessary. Bottom line
That's
is,
true.
anyway, let's go ahead and get some testimony. And it's probably a little late to start changing school districts this time of year on May the 9th, but we can. I may reserve that to a final hearing. But yeah, we definitely need to get her in here. We need to get her to do her drug testing, so we can see what actually is going on here. But obviously we'll take Ms. Tina Wright's testimony, and if she knows anything, she can tell us what she's been an eyewitness to. All right. So at this time, Ms. Tina Wright, could you unmute yourself and raise your right hand, ma'am? Ma'am, do you solemnly swear or affirm your testimony you're gonna give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let the state call you as a witness, and obviously the ad litem will have the opportunity to cross-examine. If there's anything else you think I need to know that wasn't didn't come out during the general testimony or the general questions from the two lawyers from you, ma'am, it's so long as it's relevant and you're technically your own legal rep, you can tell the court what that information is under oath. So I'll let the state proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Tina Wright. Ma'am, will you state your name for the record?
Tina Wright.
Ms. Wright, as far as the visits with Miss Aaron Wright, how have those been going currently?
The most recent visit, the children were late to school on Friday. I also failed to mention earlier that the Thursday 2-hour visit, she was 15 to 30 minutes late returning the girls.
Okay.
The girls have complained. I don't know how much of that I can
Don't
say.
testify, ma'am. Don't testify to
Okay.
anything the kid said. If
Okay.
Dad lighter thinks it's appropriate. How old are the children? I'm sorry.
They're 7 and 10.
Okay. If Dad lighter thinks it's appropriate for me to interview them in chambers with her being present, then we will probably do a live hearing and I'll hear from the kids at that point. But right now, let's we'll do it in accordance with what the law says, the way I need to do it. So for right now, don't testify to anything they particularly said, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Saw something, you can testify to it, but not what they said. Thank you.
Text messages?
Those are still hearsay, ma'am. That's you know, because
Just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, anybody can grab your cell phone and start doing anything with. You got to actually now if you got a video recording of a FaceTime chat or something like that, yeah, we're good. So,
Okay.
thank you.
And just to clarify, because I don't want to accidentally elicit anything improper, anything Miss Aaron Wright has said to you is not hearsay, and you can testify to that. So the fact that the children are late to school, which has been a concern since the beginning, is still an ongoing concern, correct?
Yes.
And there was also a concern brought up in prior hearings regarding food while the children were at Miss Aaron Wright's house. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that still an ongoing concern?
I am still very concerned about this. Yes.
Why are you concerned without testifying as to text messages or things of that nature?
I'm not sure how to word it without testifying to text messages. Other than my children are hungry when they return home. They are very hungry.
Okay. And you yourself took remedial measures to send food with them during at least one visit?
Yes, I have sent snacks and things that they can easily assess so that if food is not provided to them, they can get to something to eat. And those items have been used.
And you said the girls are 7 and 10?
Yes.
So they're not old enough to go and get food or to possibly really cook.
Correct. They don't have any experience with the stove yet. So I send microwave items or prepackaged snacks.
Okay. And previously it's been testified that there was a concern that Miss Aaron Wright was sleeping during the visits, unable to wake up, and not directly caring for the children. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you still have an ongoing concern with that?
Yes.
As far as what, try not to elicit hearsay testimony. Are you asking the court today for supervised visits for Miss Aaron Wright?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there anyone you trust in the area that could supervise those visits?
Aaron's parents do currently reside in Morgan's Point. However, that I don't know for how long.
You have been made aware that they're selling their house?
Yes.
Do you know what area they intend to move to once their house is sold?
Peggy Wright, Aaron's mother, has taken a job in the area of Kerrville.
Okay. So they will no longer be in the area to help support these visits at some time within maybe the next few months.
Correct.
to your knowledge, they currently pay rent for Miss Aaron Wright's residence. Is that correct?
They have paid the next month's rent.
Okay.
Aaron had previously prepaid up until May 9th, and I can't even recall how I know this, but Aaron's parents had paid for another month.
And so are you concerned that once Aaron's parents are no longer in the area, Miss Wright may not be able to continue living at the place that she's living in?
I am definitely concerned about this. This has been a concern for a while.
And so if that were to happen, is there anyone else in the area that Miss Wright has family or could help supervise the visits if her parents are to move to Kerrville?
Aaron's brother lives within a mile of me. I don't know how comfortable Alex is. Alex is Aaron's brother. I don't know how comfortable Alex is with supervising visits. They have dogs that aren't kid friendly, but I trust Alex. Alex is great. If Alex is willing, then I'm comfortable with it.
Okay.
We're actually going over to take care of their cats while they're on vacation this next week.
But because of that unknown and because the parents are moving away, you feel like both your support structure and Miss Wright's support structure are kind of leaving the area. Would that be a fair statement?
Absolutely.
And you have requested the court in the past to not limit you to Belton ISD. Is that correct?
Yes, as summer approaches, I need to look for a cheaper place. I don't make much money and I don't get any help from Aaron at this time. So I would like to look for a cheaper place. At least if it could be extended to Bell County, that would be okay. But most of my family and support system, I'm from Houston. All of my support system is in and around Houston. Even though I think Belton ISD is wonderful, all of my support system is in Houston. My oldest son's graduating this year. He'll probably move to Houston. They're my childcare while I'm at work. So that's everything for me is in Houston. And a lot of Aaron's family, except for Aaron's parents, are in the Rosenberg area outside of Houston as well.
And previously, Aaron's brother had made you aware of a job opportunity in Houston that you could. Please tell the court about it.
That's my brother-in-law from my first marriage. I'm still in really close contact with my first husband. We talk every week. He and his wife and we play games together. So my first husband's brother, there's a hospital in Richmond, which is just a couple of miles from where he bought a house in Rosenberg. He has extra rooms, and they said if I needed to go there to help get set up and get back on my feet, that they'd open their home to me. And like I said, all my support systems there.
Okay. So you're asking the court to potentially consider expanding the geographic restriction, especially given the volatile nature of Miss Wright's residence and whether or not she'll be to continue living there.
Yes, please.
Okay. Right now, do the girls have health insurance?
I have applied for Medicaid and I expect to be approved because I do not make much. However, I have not heard back from them yet regarding that, and I do need to contact them. But we haven't been turned away from doctor's appointments yet, so I assume something's still in place.
So at least during the temporary part of this court order, and given that if the court lifts the geographic restriction, you're hoping to find a better job somewhere, would you be content if we were to go ahead and continue the girls on government medical?
Yes.
Okay. As far as wage calculation, are you aware if Miss Aaron Wright's working anywhere currently?
I am not aware that she's obtained any employment.
Okay. Your Honor, I pass the witness.
All right, ma'am, where was she working prior to, wait, under my understanding, she's had the position for several years. Where was that place?
Aaron started working at Acer Computers in 2007.
Okay, in Temple?
Yes.
Okay, and when did she leave?
She was dismissed on approximately January 21st.
Thank you. All right, your witness, Ms. Swartz, thank you.
And you've been in touch with Miss Wright off and on, correct?
Less so in the last couple of weeks, but I got a text message from her last night,
Okay,
and I talked to her on Monday.
okay. Did she indicate to you whether or not she intended to take the drug test?
She did not say she was going to take it. I told her that it was quick and easy, and I called and was scheduled and had mine done within an hour, and told her that it would be really quick to get it done. And I don't think she ever stated she was going to go take it. I was trying to encourage her to go ahead and get it taken care of.
And to your knowledge, on Monday, did she report whether or not she'd taken it?
No, she did not. She did not tell me if she had taken it.
Okay. And how long did she have that job at Star Computers?
Acer,
Oh, I'm sorry.
16 or 17 years. She started in 2007.
Okay. To your knowledge, has she been looking for any new jobs?
She has mentioned that she was applying, but I have not seen any actual evidence of that.
Okay. Was there a recent time when she was out of touch?
Yes.
How long was she out of contact for?
I had spoken to her on Saturday evening, and she was located Monday early afternoon, maybe late morning. I'd have to go and check the times.
Has that ever happened before?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Is that a concern?
Yes.
Has that ever happened while she was caring for the children?
Yes.
And do you observe anything about the children's behavior without saying anything that they've said, apart from them being hungry when they return from visits?
In the past or recently?
Uh,
It hasn't happened recently where she was out of contact while having the children, to my knowledge.
And so my question is, you had testified that the children came home hungry, correct, after the visits?
Yes.
Is there anything else that you've noticed about their behavior without saying anything that was said, but just anything that you've noticed about their demeanor after visits, apart from their hunger?
Upset. Their routine is a disaster as far as not wanting to go to bed on time. They're definitely more upset. My daughters are more clingy and require a lot of hugs when they come home. They need a lot more attention.
And are there other concerns that you have about the visitations with Miss Aaron Wright? Without any hearsay.
I'm concerned about instances in the past happening again where she does fall out of touch. She's had issues with suicidal ideation and just the sleeping, the not being able to be woke up to provide care for the children. And these are things that I have witnessed prior to her losing her previous apartment in the first week of February. I would have to drive over to her apartment and wake her up because the children were unattended.
Okay. And are you concerned about are you concerned that she might be under the influence of illegal substances?
I believe that it is a possibility.
Okay. And is that based on anything you've witnessed?
I have witnessed in the past where her pupils were extremely dilated and her mannerisms were in line with what I have witnessed from other people who have been under the influence. I am aware that the person that was removed from their home, the home that she was staying in last summer, has used methamphetamines. And I am also aware that Aaron has, again, spent time with this person and was with this person from Saturday night until Monday when they were missing.
And did the last visit between her and the children occur?
Yes. Over the weekend? Yes.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, are you aware of any diagnosis of any type of mental abnormalities with Miss Wright? Again, ma'am, obviously y'all have been together for a while, so do you know of any such things?
Her mental health diagnosis.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, Aaron was diagnosed with major depressive disorder. And there were a couple of other things that have been mentioned, but I cannot say for sure as I have not seen it on paper, but she had told me about borderline personality disorder and potentially manic depressive. Those I cannot confirm, but I know that she was diagnosed with major depressive disorder.
All right, thank you. All right, anything on redirect, Ms. Hubbard?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then, folks, obviously I'm looking at it right now. The court's more than likely looking at going ahead and suspending visitation until Ms. Aaron Wright takes her the drug testing as ordered by the court. And if y'all looked at the data coming back here, or you're looking at a special setting, what are we looking at?
Your Honor, I wanted to leave that to the court. I know you are more knowledgeable about when drug tests, when their effectiveness is ending, and I echo Ms. Swartz's concerns regarding having Miss Aaron Wright wait out the drug test until whatever may have been in her system is no longer present.
And
Well,
I do think,
I'm gonna make it part of my court order that she has to take that drug test within the next 7 days.
see, and that's perfect. I think that takes care of the issue. And so at that point, it doesn't matter as much when the hearing is. That was my biggest concern. And
Right.
I would like to give her a little time to see that the actions have consequences and see if maybe she can start being more responsible, because I know that her daughters care about her a lot.
Well, like I said, we'll see. Let's go ahead and do it. But I'll make that part of the court order. And I'll look at some dates coming up here. Let's look at some special setting dates. And that way, hopefully we can avoid doing this still in the general docket. Let's see. The Zoom calendar. Oh, we're busy in June. Looks like the first morning afternoon I have available is Monday, June the 17th. And then of course Wednesday's not available because that's a statewide that's a national holiday. So Ms. Swartz, what do you got on Monday, June the 17th, ma'am?
Weirdly, nothing. That makes me suspicious, but nothing.
Yeah, it does, because everybody likes to, when you have one of those holidays in the middle of the week, you like to try to expand it into a 5-day weekend or something like that. So, but I can go ahead and I can set this up for 1 p.m. on the 16th, and I'll do the Zoom code for that. But Ms. Wright, as the ad litem, you need to let her know that if she doesn't take that drug test within the correct amount of time, the court's going to take that as prima facie. There's a reason. There's only one reason people don't take drug tests. I mean, there's a lot of reasons for a lot of different things in life, but for you not taking a drug test, there's only one reason. It's going to come back positive. So she needs to take it. She needs to take the hair follicle, and I think they also have fingernail if that's necessary. And I'm not sure. I know one's a little bit longer than the other, but not by much. And I forgot which one it is, but again, that needs to be set up. So I'm going to order that. But right now, ma'am, I want to, obviously the kids need to remain in school for this coming year, but obviously I'll look at the lifting geo restrictions to Bell and contiguous counties, or even throw in a part of the state of Texas if things don't work out. So you don't have to limit yourself to BISD going forward, but obviously they need to finish up the school year in BISD because that's
Absolutely.
only for 2 weeks. So yeah. All right, then. But let's go ahead and look at a reset. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and keep the parties as joint managed conservatives, but I'm giving Ms. Tina Wright the right to side domicile, and to further order the court access. No, there's no possession access about Ms. Aaron Wright until further order, and we reset this matter for Monday, June the 16th at 1 p.m. And hopefully she'll show up at that one. So.
May I ask for some clarification?
Yes, ma'am. What's your clarification? What question do you have, ma'am? Sorry, I don't want to limit
The suspended access, what does that mean?
No visitation, ma'am.
Can she see them if she's like at my home to see them?
Yes, ma'am. You can. Visitation is at your discretion going forward, ma'am. You can set it up with her and the family members that are there. If you want to say, hey, the kids can go over and stay at your moms and dads. But do you know she even has a place right now?
She does have a place,
Okay.
kind of. Yes.
Okay, but again, I'm gonna leave, I'm not gonna allow her unrestricted access to the kids. And you have the right to determine, is that with you, is that with, you can pick a third party to be there, for them to visit with the kids, but for right now, she's not allowed to be with the kids alone.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions, Ms. Wright?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Swartz, you need anything else on this one?
I think we don't currently have a support order.
That's correct. There's no support ordered yet.
All right, since I've taken away visitation and Ms. Tina Wright's fully responsible, I'll go ahead and order temporary child support from Ms. Aaron Wright based on the minimum wage presumption. So that's gonna come in at $220 and some change. I'll let the state tell me what that amount is based on minimum wage. I'll go ahead and order the Ms. Tina Wright to continue to try to get the kids on Medicaid. And I'll order that we'll set up the Medicaid repayment also. And that all won't start to the first day of June. So hopefully by then, Ms. Wright, you'll have the medical. And by then, Ms. Aaron Wright will have a job. So, but we'll see.
Yes, sir.
What's
Your
the
Honor,
math on that? What's the math on those items, Ms. Hubbard?
The state calculated 2 children in, 0 children out. The percentage based on minimum wage, 25%, so $275 for child support and $57 for government medical.
All right, good enough. Again, that starts June 1.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. Anything else then, Ms. Tina Wright? Anything else, ma'am?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Swartz, anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Hubbard?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
May Ms. Wright be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Wright, you're free to go. And like I said, if you hear from her, let her know that, hey, contact the ad item, get this stuff set up where we can move on. Otherwise, we're gonna be stuck in this little, we may be in a holding pattern on this one for a little bit, but for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and set this up as, like I said, visitation as per Ms. Tina Wright's supervision and temporary child support and reset to June the 16th. Thank you all very much, and we're off the record.
Aaron brought someone to my home or made them aware of my address. A person that they had used with this person was in June or July of 2023 taken to Canyon Creek after threatening gun violence. I had to lock my gates and be prepared for the possibility that this person may arrive at my home.